That is, educate, inspire, and empower. Our goal is to help build a well-informed and empowered community wherein members use all the available tools to achieve their optimal health through a holistic approach to health and wellness. We want to meet people wherever they are in their wellness journey and help them reach their optimal wellness index. Historically, as you know, both the health system and the average citizen have functioned on a reactive model. Reactive healthcare involves reacting to an adverse disease, injury, condition, or a symptom. Both you and the doctors are reacting to the system. Our goal, however, is to help people move from that reactive model of healthcare to an empowered, proactive approach, where a lot of adverse health conditions can either be avoided altogether or reversed. And to achieve that, we have an amazing team of physicians and experts from the different fields and eminent guest speakers, all of whom are offering their time and knowledge to help us take control of our health and wellness on all levels and develop a sense of purpose in our lives, feeling a sense of connection to people and community so that we live an empowered life and role in shaping their own wellness destiny. Now, to help us get comfortable and relaxed, I'm going to invite Jesse Sheehan, who is a professional jazz musician based on Berkeley. Jesse is also a multi-instrumentalist. He spent 4 years in India studying classical music with Pandit Narayan Ghosh and many other masters. So he'll be performing a short piece to reset the energy before we begin and to connect us all. So here is Jesse.
Hello, everybody. I was going to play Bhairavi, which is a more appropriate to play at this time.
Okay, Jesse.
Jesse, Dinesh, Jesse is on.
He's muted.
Oh, okay. Let's unmute.
That was strange. I pressed the button, but it didn't work. Anyways, I was saying Bhairavi is a rag, but also a goddess. So that can be a little bit confusing. So I was going to play a little bit of Bhairavi. And the goddess is, she's like sort of like Kali, a destroyer of the old in order to bring in the new, which I think is very appropriate for these times. So there we go. Yeah. Dinesh, you're muted.
Thank you so much, Jesse, for bringing us to the present moment. Music is amazing, just a great sense of connection with all. So now we will move into our wellness support group model of which is based on the iceberg model, which by now you're all familiar. The iceberg model has physical, emotional, intellectual, occupational, social, and the spiritual element. And today we will talk about the social wellness. We have covered so far all the other aspects, and I would now like to invite our program moderator for today, Annie Danavati, to talk about social wellness and to introduce to you our amazing guest today. It is very fitting that Annie will be moderating the session for today because she has walked the talk and has been on the forefront of community service and involvement for the past 30 years. She has worked on behalf of women, children, senior citizens, and minority communities. She was instrumental in founding the first Indo-American city-funded senior center in the Bay Area almost 30 years ago. She has been a leader on issues related to women's equality, having led the Santa Clara County Commission on the status of women for 5 years. She's a founding member of Coalition 2001, a grassroots organization that has worked for equality for minority communities. She is a civil litigation attorney. She is a member of the core team of CWC and legal counsel. She is also a board member and legal counsel to Home of Hope, whose founder you will meet this morning. So here is Annie.
Welcome, everybody. So what exactly is social wellness? At a narrow level, we could define social level as, as building healthy relationships that are nurturing and supportive. Typically, these would include your family, your friends, your colleagues, perhaps your neighbors. And these relationships are really important because they do provide a support structure. And when a person is going through any kind of upheaval or social emotional difficulty, these relationships are of great value. But we can also look at social wellness on a much broader level. And that would be a level that extends beyond what we typically would call me and my family, or me and my limited world, which goes a little beyond that. It could include, community and neighborhood and what have you. And the more we broaden the scope of issues that we care about and people that we feel connected with, the more expanded our worldview gets. There is a Sanskrit phrase, Vasudev Kutumbakam, which translates into the world is a family. The more evolved people are, the closer they get to this worldview, the more connected they feel with people outside of their immediate day-to-day lives. And this doesn't have to do with how educated a person is or what their bank balance is. It's just about how one views the world and what role and responsibility each of us wants to accept and incorporate into our lives to make a difference in the lives of those who are either suffering or underprivileged. Now, there are plenty of people in this world who are very content living their lives. They work for 9 to 5. They look after their families. They are good neighbors, good colleagues, good friends. But their inner circle of compassion does not extend much beyond that. And this is not a judgment call. If they're happy with their lives, that's fine. It works for them. But the more we expand our circle of compassion, the closer we can get to the concept that the world is a family. And the more we can strive to make a difference in the lives of people who, again, are underprivileged or suffering either due to circumstances of their birth or perhaps, just an act of fate. And the more we do that, the richer we become internally. Now, I think most of us know, because this is kind of like preaching to the choir, really, that this is not just a figment of our imagination. Medical research has shown that there are scientific reasons why social wellness is important to our overall health and wellness. Our bodies create a hormone called oxytocin, which is released when we feel kind. It is the hormone that mothers produce when they are breastfeeding their babies, cementing their bond with the newborn child. It's tied to making us more trusting, more generous, and friendlier. And it actually lowers blood pressure. Other studies have linked random acts of kindness to releasing dopamine, which is a chemical messenger in the brain that can give us a feeling of euphoria. This feel-good brain chemical is credited with causing what's called a helper's high. For all of you, when you've gone out and really done something above and beyond to help others with no agenda, just recall that feeling of, it's kind of like a high. So that's what we're talking about. And other studies have linked random acts of kindness to releasing dopamine, which is also a chemical messenger in the brain. So we have oxytocin, we have serotonin, we have dopamine, and all of these things are very, very critical to how we feel, our emotional mood, which in turn impacts our, directly or indirectly, it impacts our physical health. And acts of kindness can be very simple. They don't have to be complicated. It could be, just dropping off food for somebody who's sick. It could be giving a ride to somebody, or it could be something on a much larger scale. But at the end of the day, the broader our worldview is, the more we can incorporate into our consciousness, I think the better human beings we become and the better communities we build. So it's a win-win every which way. And now it is my privilege to introduce to you our special guest for today, Dr. Nilima Sabharwal. I have known Nilima for 30 some years, and she never fails to amaze me. She's a medical doctor by profession, and she retired some years ago. She'll talk about that. She's also the wife of a doctor, so her husband is a doctor, and her two children, son and daughter, are both physicians also. In 1999, she founded a nonprofit organization called Home of Hope. Her goal was to serve underprivileged children in India who were either born into extreme poverty or due to some catastrophe were left orphaned. And her dream was to give these children a fighting chance to get out of poverty and to become self-sustaining, independent adults who could stand on their own 2 feet and lead lives of dignity. Nilima will share with us how she started this nonprofit 20 years ago and what Home of Hope, whom we affectionately call HOH, has been able to accomplish, and the number of lives that have been positively impacted. I don't need to tell you about how passionate and committed Nilima is about her work, because I promise you, once she starts talking, her passion is going to come right through that computer screen, swept up in her enthusiasm. I often joke with her and tell her, and I call her a one-woman army. Of course, we have a wonderful board of directors and team at Home of Hope, made up of very loving, committed, hardworking individuals who share the same dream of making a difference one child at a time. Now, needless to say, Nilima has received countless awards and accolades over the years. But I can tell you, because I've known Nilima so well, that none of this measures up to the pure joy that she feels when we see one of our children through one of our projects who's really turned their life around. So that's really what it is all about. So Nilima, my hope for today is that people, as you speak, people would learn a little bit about Home of Hope and the amazing work that we do. As importantly, I want to get people, my hope is that people get a sense of what drives you and what makes you do what you do. Where do you get that passion and energy? And also relevant to our subject for today, please talk about, if you feel like it's made a difference in your personal life, in your health, in your overall well-being. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I give to you Dr. Nilima Sabharwal. Nilima, if you'd like to maybe just talk about, Home of Hope, introduce people to it.
Yeah. So you know what? First of all, I'm not a one-woman army, okay? I have people like Annie in my life, and we have an amazing team of people. So having said that, I have been asked this question all the time. what propelled you? What propelled you to do this? And so I have given it some thought. And it was, and since this is a wellness platform and I'm a total energy person, I've always experienced good, bad, good, bad, ugly energies. So in that context, I will give my answer in the context of energy. So having said that, it was year 1998. I had accomplished all my goals. I had a perfect job, perfect husband, perfect life, perfect children. Everything was so perfect. But then I was feeling restless and I couldn't understand, why am I so restless? And at that time, I got a call from my friend's mother, the founder of this orphanage in Chennai called Children's Home of Hope. So she gives me a call and, she says, she gives me a call and she wanted a donation because that orphanage was riddled with gastroenteritis. All 137 children were sick. So I sent her money and kind of, forgot about it. Then she sent me pictures of the orphanage and these children and the bathrooms. They were like unhygienic tin sheds. At that time, I experienced a powerful energy. And what was that energy? It was gratitude. I suddenly asked myself this question: why am I so blessed? Why wasn't I born homeless? These questions came up to me, and then I said, you know what? I just got to give back. It was simple. And then with the help of my two young children, we had a humble fundraiser, raised $5,000 and sent the money there. And then that 5,000, they built new bathrooms. And the entire epidemic of gastroenteritis was like wiped away. And that inspired me. I saw the impact, of $5,000. What an impact it's made. Simple. That inspired me to start my own nonprofit called Home of Hope. And it's interesting. That ignited, I was inspired, and then that ignited passion. And like Annie very affectionately said, that cascaded my favorite P's: persistence, perseverance, and patience in the end. So, and then after that, it's been no looking back. Thank you for that lovely introduction, Annie. But then during this 20 plus journey, I also experienced the difference between happiness and bliss. Happiness you get from, achieving your goals, your children, your favorite car, your academic, anything, though you accomplish your goals. But bliss you get when you make a difference in somebody else's life. And it's even better when you're not connected to them, just somebody else's life that you don't even know who they are, completely, not connected. That energy is bliss, okay? And it's addicting. It's an addicting energy. And to be honest with you, that time I didn't even know the spelling of spirituality, But now when I read, I said, oh, those are the energies I experienced. And I feel so wonderful that these are healing energies. These are, that raises your immunity, gratitude, and a joy. And so it's just been an incredible journey for me. And like Annie said, in 20 plus years, today we have, yes, our mission is very simple. HOH mission is to help disadvantaged children to become self-sustaining citizens of tomorrow. And and yes, I had no plans. I said, oh, I'm going to help this orphanage. But the universe had plans for me. I think that's what happens when you're receptive, when your antenna open, the universe had plans to me. And 20 years later, even I'm amazed that HOH has partnered with 20 plus orphanage all over India. And how we do it is we identify the orphanage, we partner it, we partner with it, and then we implement programs focusing mainly on education and vocational training. And a span of 20 plus years, again, I feel very grateful that, we have partnered and partnered with over 20 plus projects all over India, including one in Berkeley, SEED, and that is the Center for Early Intervention of Deafness in Berkeley, and have touched the lives of at least 100,000 children, and also helped implement some major programs in India. So I'm actually kind of blown away myself. I don't know. So that's kind of my journey, and yeah.
Nilima, I think that's been a wonderful opening that you shared, because it really ties into what our focus at Cracking the Wellness Code is. Because our whole objective is, like Dinesh was saying, our healthcare system, not just in the US, the world around, it tends to be a reactive model, right?
Yeah.
That typically people live their lifestyles, whatever it is, and then, they start having problems, and then they get the medical attention and treatment.
Yes.
And what we are trying to do is help people feel empowered, take control of their health, be proactive, engage in the kinds of things that's going to give you overall wellness and good health, way before any problems come in. And of course, if somebody has already started having health issues, then I think if they incorporate this kind of wellness approach into their life and lifestyle, it can help kind of halt that process, or at least minimize the damage. And that's where the social component is so important. Like you said, it helps connect you to other people, and other people beyond your immediate circle, and it just makes life so much more meaningful. I think before we sort of move on, maybe if you could just so that people have a better sense of HOH, if you could just briefly talk about the different projects, how they're spread out across the country, how we have project coordinators who help manage to make sure that every cent that we raised goes directly to the children, and no overheads and that kind of thing. So just briefly, so people get a little more familiar with HOH.
Yes. So HOH empowers disadvantaged children, and now that is a broad category, and that includes deaf and speech impaired, blind, physically crippled, mentally challenged, and we're very proud to say that every category is under the umbrella of HOH. And again, so we identify these different orphanages, and people ask me, how did you find these orphanages? And my answer is my good friend HP. Now it's not Hewlett Packard, it's higher power. I've also learned in this journey is, when you have this energy, again, the energy of gratitude, these simple connecting energies, you connect with like-minded people. So I've been very blessed that, we have this amazing team, and everybody is a volunteer. Everybody has the same passion that I have. And so what we do is we partner with these different projects in India. And so each one of us is a project coordinator. Even I'm a project coordinator. I have an orphanage. And we empower our foot soldier. You cannot do anything without our foot soldier. So this has been such an incredible process that in every orphanage, the founder of the orphanage we call them our foot soldier. And so when two passionate people here, like my team and I'm the founder, connects with their team, the results, it's explosive. And I know India, we think that, oh, there's so much corruption and all that. But believe me, the orphanage that we have connected with, and the people, they are like Mother Teresa times 100. It's just wonderful. So it's been this, and so in that process, we have empowered over 100,000 children, and we really are stressing on. So after 20 years, yes, what do we do with these children? They're empowered. We can't let go of them now. So we are stressing on vocational training. We want to close that loop, and to make them self-sustaining citizens of tomorrow. And so that's, we are now focusing mainly on vocational training.
So, Nilima, I'm going to ask you, what I have found over the years, and again, I think having, had that connection to community and having worked on multiple different issues and areas, I very often find that, I'm trying to talk to, friends and colleagues and, just people in general about things that I've been involved with. And I get the same response very often, which is, wow, I'd love to get involved in something like that. But they kind of seem to be a little bit lost in terms of, how they would get started in that involvement process. Also, very often it's a question of, juggling, right? You wear so many different hats. I mean, all the way from mother, wife, physician, all of that, right? So I think people sometimes, there's a gap between what they would really like to do and how they would like to live their lives and, make that difference to actually getting started with that. And sometimes it's a balancing act. So would you have any, guidance for somebody who really wants to get involved with the cause and how they should go about that?
Yeah, everybody has potential. So I tell people, yes, of course, we need funds, but just donate your potential. That's it. You are like Annie donated your legal services. You are a connector. Connect us with different people. You're good at, just donate your potential. And that's a starting point. And once they get into HOH, I really feel, these powerful emotion gets ignited, like compassion. And then you don't know what your potential is. I didn't know my potential was HOH. I got ignited by compassion, by that ignited bliss inside me. And so just donate your potential, just whatever you're good at, because if you are stressed about something, it defeats the purpose. That's why in HOH we have this open system. Come, join us. I don't even call it an organization. I call it a movement. It's a movement. We have become everybody, first of all, has goodness inside them. You've just got to connect with your inner goodness and just donate it. Everybody has goodness inside them. And so we've become an avenue for you to donate your potential, your goodness. And let's see where it goes. I mean, I'm amazed at the people who've joined HOH, our youth chapter. I mean, also compassion is it's a hotbed of creativity. So some of our youth chapter children have done amazing, and today they are like empowered, successful young adults, giving back to society. So I can go on and on about energy and
well, yeah. I promised our audience that your passion was going to come through the computer.
I have vocal diarrhea, so you have to stop me.
Yeah. But Nilima, I think that there is so much need in the world, and sometimes I think it requires us to be creative and kind of go where the need is. So at Home of Hope, for instance, our focus has always been children, right? Underprivileged children, to give them a chance at life. But I know that as a result of the pandemic, it has been heartbreaking to see what's been happening with the migrant workers in India. Because as the lockdown took place, hundreds of thousands of migrant workers who had come to the big cities to work now did not have work. and they had no, organized way to get back to their villages. And the stories have been absolutely heartbreaking, as we all know. So I'd like you to share with our viewers here how you were able to kind of transfer and now really help migrant worker families. It's still a drop in the bucket, granted, but at least we have been able to help large numbers of migrant worker families. So if you want to talk about how that creativity came about.
Okay. First of all, the word corona evokes fear. And fear is a blocking energy. It's a blocking energy. So what I did is replace corona with karuna, which means compassion. And I've started writing karuna journals, because first of all, the collective human consciousness is low. We recognize that it's low. So how do we raise this energy, the collective consciousness, this energy? So came up with this idea of karuna journals. So every week, HOH, I'm writing these Corona journals, which highlight our projects in India. And the theme is impact of Karuna. So in that we highlight, people love stories. That's, people in today's world, they're zoned out with all these fancy, they love stories. So we pick a story from each project, each orphanage, and share that story, the impact of Karuna. The Karuna came from HOH, from that orphanage. So that's, and then the next is the impact of Corona. Okay, how are they dealing with Corona? And I feel very proud to say each project is not only taking care of themselves and doing well, they're also helping, they've gone out, they're helping others. So having done that, we partnered with 2 projects in we have partnered with 3 projects. We started this HOH food drive in partnership with our village project in Mijwa and our slum project Koshish in Delhi, and the Saidam project in Faridabad. And we are funding, these are 500 rupees, which is $6, which supplies a 2-week, is the cost of 2-week ration, a 2-week ration and medicine supplies. And of course, India is doing wonderful work, but it's a very big scheme. And we have this little scheme there, totally hands-on, totally grassroots, working with the local community. And we jumped in right when this Corona thing started. It was in early March or mid-March. We just jumped right in with the village project in Mijwa and donated, sent the money there. And I can't even tell you, the results are so mind-blowing. Every week we get an update. We're very organized, we get an update. And I'm very happy to say that today, at least 30,000 villagers in remote villages of UP, we have hand-delivered, our team has hand-delivered these packets. And you have to understand, these migrant villagers, these villages, they're completely lost. They can't read, they can't write, they have no idea what's happening. The government doesn't reach them. But our team from Mijwa, the village team, is going and literally, we have actually massed an entire village. And so it's so gratifying. Every week I get the update. And then in the slum, we've reached so many families, and we get these thank you, we get thank you from these mothers that yes, the government has not been able to reach them, and there's so much of politics happening at the ground level, but we feel good that yes, your package has. So the slum, and then with Saidam, they are distributing at least 3,000 to 5,000 meals every day. So if you look at the amount of people impacted, it's like maybe 100,000, and distributing infrared thermometers. So it is just been such a it's such a gratifying process that we feel good and we ignite more compassion. And I don't know, it's just been I know this Corona time has been it's just been a beautiful time. And I get to I know people are suffering, so I shouldn't say it's for I'm looking at as karuna. So I'm able to connect with people, because whatever you say, $6, it's your Starbucks coffee, and this is new for us, food drive, because HOH focuses on education and vocational training. But this is something new for us. We're doing a food drive, but I'm able to connect. I just pick up the phone and talk to people. Hey, donate your Starbucks money. And in that process, I'm learning that people are very compassionate. So it's been very, like you said, connecting with the community. Yes, we have unfortunately this year we'll have a virtual event, maybe, but standing on the stage and talking for, I get my 10-minute speech, and, I don't know how much I connect with the audience in our fundraisers, but this just picking up the phone and calling people, like you said, it doesn't take much to ignite compassion. I just pick up the phone and how are you doing? And tell them about this, and wow, so we have been, yes, little drops of, but more than the money, I just love the connection. Because of this karuna, I am connecting with wonderful people, random people reading the Karuna journals. I just, and another thing I like to share is, I'm also, like, I believe in positive energies. I also understand blocking energies. So the fact that we are just doing this. And identification is a blocking energy. Fear is a blocking energy. So I think what has helped in my journey of HOH is, there's no identification. You just send this energy out into the universe, and the universe just sends amazing energy back to you. Like this karuna. I don't even know if my own children are reading my journals. And some of my friends say, hey, you're very inundated with your emails. And you know what I tell them? You know what? It's your choice. It takes you 2 seconds. Just, hit the delete button. It's taken us 20 plus years to come here.
Yeah.
So and I am just sending this energy to the universe, and we've gotten random people just going all over to help us. Some random person somewhere is sending us. So it's been a great journey, Karuna journey. I call it Karuna journey.
I think, it would be fair to say that, yes, there is tremendous need in this world. And there are lots and lots of good people. It's obviously there's a lot of dark things that are happening in the world today, particularly if you look at what's going on in our country right now. With the unfortunate death that took place in Minneapolis and the riots that are taking place and all of that. But I think for each of us, even as we become aware of all this negativity and darkness, I think if we can, it's good to stay informed. I am a news buff, and my husband and I often butt heads because of that. But I think beyond just making sure that you are informed and aware of what's going on, I think one has to make a choice of where you want to focus your energy, right? And, you find creative ways of going where the need is. And I would just tell, people again that you don't need, it doesn't, it's not, you don't need a lot of money. We don't even have an office at HOH. I mean, we joke because office is Nilima's car.
The front of my car and my cell phone. So please feel free to call me if you have any questions.
Right. So Nilima, I think we have a couple of questions, if I'm able to get to them. Vibha Sinha had a question, and then, we can continue the conversation. Vibha, Dinesh, would you please unmute Vibha?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Let me say this is amazing, a real story of how compassion becomes active. My question is that do you have members of HOH in India? How do you practically do what you are doing in terms of distribution of food to the migrants or vocational training for the children who are unprivileged? So can you please elaborate on that?
Yes. So HOH, like I said, in the past 20 years, we have connected, we have helped, or we partner with existing projects in India, and these are orphanages, and some of them are schools, and right now we have about 12 active projects. So in these 20 years, we have built a partnership, and when I say partnership, in the orphanage, we partner with the founder of the orphanage. We call them foot soldiers. So we have this. We have these foot soldiers in our orphanage, which are the founders of the orphanage. So we have so our money gets. So basically, what we are doing is we are implementing these programs. So this program is started like this food drive. Mijwa village started this food drive, and so we are now sending them the funds, and in that process we are also monitoring, and we get feedback. So we work with our foot soldiers in India. So this is our partnership. And so our members, so our team in India, the members of the orphanage, and all of them are volunteers. All of them, so nobody. We don't have here. We don't have any admin staff. We are totally, we are the trunk of my car is my office. So it's partnership with each project in India. For example, Mijwa, we have for the past we partnered with Mijwa in year 2005, and so we have implemented programs in Mijwa. We funded the program, so now they are funding this food drive. So we are sending money for that, and then Saidham, we are focused on education and vocational training. So we implemented educational and vocational program, and we are funding that program in Saidham. So that's how. I'm sure. I hope I haven't confused you.
Maybe if I could jump in, Vibhed. So yeah. we do have a very formal process whereby we decide if we are going to partner with a particular project. And that includes obviously a review of how they are handling everything, and then if we like what they're doing, we do have project coordinators, okay, who are like a direct link. So the project in India would submit their request, and once we approve it, we get detailed reports from them, as to how the money is being spent, the direct impact on the children. And the project coordinators actually have taken up the responsibility of physically visiting the sites. There's nothing like, actually seeing what's going on, if the children look well fed and happy, and are they making progress academically or in their vocational training. In one sense, it's hands-off because we are separated by 10,000 miles. But on the other hand, it's a very stringent process, and we really do monitor, everything from their request for funds, and the board meets very, very regularly. In fact, I've served on multiple boards, and I think, I don't think I've come across a board that is as hands-on as the HOH team. And I think, Nilima, that's going to lead me to my next question, because
I also want to add that between my trip, I make a trip every year, and the board members and the committee members, each project is visited at least 5 to 6 times a year. Of course, now we can't travel, so that's
right. So Nilima, given that you live, breathe, sleep HOH, right? We have early morning calls, nighttime calls throughout the day. And again, like everybody else, you have other responsibilities also. So coming back to the wellness context, okay, Do you have a healthcare regimen, perhaps? How do you look after yourself? How do you stay grounded, emotionally, physically, and every which way? If you want to talk about that.
Yes. First of all, I wake up in the morning, I turn my phone off. It's an airplane mode. I turn it off because I don't want any blocking energy. And meditate. The first hour in the morning is very important to ground yourself and get this healing, this empowering energy. So I meditate, and then I come down and face the world. So I've kind of it's like I've fueled my gas station, and then I face the world, and I believe in, I compartmentalize everything. I kind of structure my day. This time I'm going to make calls. This I go for a walk, and of course I also recommend, I have a dog, and dogs, I have my dog, and he's a healing energy. So yeah, and of course the morning starts with fitness is very important, exercise and going for a walk, and meditation. Just being connected to this universal force energy, which I truly believe in. And so I like to live with positive energy. Whenever there is negativity, I accept it, but like you said, don't be reactive. Don't react. Reactive energy, just dwelling on something negative is again a blocking energy. And I accept negativity, but try to transform it with positive. And that's through meditation and good thoughts.
There is a question from Adolfo. So I'm unmuting Adolfo to, you want to...
Dinesh, why don't we read out the question, and then we can let Adolfo...
Yeah, I'm not able to unmute him, so I'm going to read it out. Can you describe your feeling happy or bliss between being a doctor and working with HOH? Is there a difference?
Yes, I love this question. Yes, happiness. When I was a doctor, I experienced happiness because I accomplished my goals. I'm a pathologist. I had this wonderful job and my goals, so that was happiness. Bliss is something I experienced, like I said, just, making a difference in somebody else's life that you're not even connected with. So that feeling was, that blissful energy is a very powerful energy. It's an addictive energy. You guys should just try it out. Just go help anybody. And you don't have to be like me. I didn't know I was going to start this big organization. Believe me, I just help anybody. That energy is blissful. That is a very addictive energy, and it's a healing energy. Bliss, joy. I think that, it's a healing energy. And now I've learned that it builds up immunity and lowers blood pressure. It's a very healing energy. So if you try and live in this blissful energy, and that, what I really recommend is meditation. Twice a day, 20 minutes. It connects you to that. All of us have goodness inside us. All of us have that place of silence inside us. This good energy, and through meditation you connect with this energy, and really, believe me, you become less reactive, because whenever any negativity is thrown at you, you just kind of accept it. And then at that time, when you accept that bliss energy, you feel gratitude. I think gratitude is a very powerful energy. Gratitude. Even the fact that sometimes you're walking and you have feet, you're so lucky. It's a very, very healing energy. Gratitude.
So
yeah.
Thank you for that response.
Nilima, would you say that your charitable work has... Oh, great. We got Adolfo unmuted. Go ahead, Adolfo.
Yeah, so what I was trying to get at, and thank you for a response, but as a doctor, you're helping people.
Yes.
So I guess that was my question, more focus on the energy you receive by, and I understand that being a doctor, but it, gave you a lot of comfort in buying, home and kids.
Yeah. Yeah, so as a doctor, I experienced happiness because I had certain, I had a job to do, and so I experienced happiness. But I think helping, random acts of kindness, just not identifying, whatever, as a doctor, you have results, you focus on results. When you don't identify, I think that is powerful. You don't identify, because then you don't carry any baggage. Even to be honest with you, when people are thanking you, praising you, awards, it's a baggage you're carrying. It's heavy, So when that's why, people who are anonymous donors, please don't be anonymous, because you have to inspire other people. But so you feel as when you are like I mentioned again, helping, just randomly helping people, and making a difference in people's lives and not identifying with it. It's very light. You don't carry any baggage, and I think that energy is not cluttered. So the universe just sends you wonderful people, wonderful. I mean, look at my team of people, and miracles are happening. And you can call this energy God, whatever you want. I call it HP, higher power. I hope I've answered your question.
So Nilima, I think Indu Agarwal has a question. Has this journey helped you with your health?
Yes, people say that, touch wood. I don't want to jinx it, but yeah, I never get the flu, and I'm always joyful. In fact, I think I have very good immunity.
Did you have any long-term health issues that you were able to overcome when you got on this journey?
I'm blessed. I didn't have any. I don't have any issues like that. But I feel I feel very healthy, very energized, and I have a lot of strength. I'm blessed. I just feel very energetic.
Okay,
I think
thank you.
there's a lot of evidence, Indu, though, and Nilima, you can verify that. Like, I remember reading in Reader's Digest years ago, Mother Teresa has an amazing immunity, and she was always surrounded with people with all kinds of disease. And, as you all remember, she used to sit down with people who are on their last breath. And I think I remember that people, when you work for others, your immunity becomes very strong. I think compassion, there's a lot of research on compassion as well, that compassion helps you improve your immunity and your healing power. Any observation, Nilima, you feel?
Yes, when people are falling sick around me, I'm fine. And yes, I think the biggest validation is I go to India every year. I travel to India, and I travel by train, bullock cart. I drink the water. I've even actually spent a whole day in a hut of a village lady, and a village hut where there were flies, and sometimes on the train, when I got a packet of food and I opened it, it is horrible. I mean, you'll be horrified the things that I've done, and nothing.
Yeah, that is the ultimate proof.
Yeah, so I do practice, of course, hygiene and all, but I've been disease. I never fall sick in India. Let's put it that way.
And we need you to remain healthy, Nilima, because you are the force. So before I hand it back to Dinesh for the wrap up, I have one last question. And I don't see any other questions posted in the chat group. So we are currently in the midst of obviously a serious and challenging pandemic. Unemployment is an all-time high at 15%, and more than 100,000 Americans have lost their lives. And we're not even talking about the rest of the world. We're just talking about what's going on here. What advice would you give to our viewers by way of things that they can do to stay safe, healthy, strong on all the different spectrums, particularly physically and emotionally, because I think those are really critical to our being able to do well on other areas.
Okay, so physical, I recommend meditation. Just if you don't have time for 20 minutes, do even 5 minutes. Exercise, walk. And the good thing about this corona that has done, I call it karuna, I'm actually appreciating nature. And I like live in the now. Okay, so meditation, physical exercise, walking, and I again say, practice gratitude. When you get some bad news and something, just feel so blessed. Practice gratitude. That is a very healing, positive energy, and your immunity rises. Practice gratitude and live in the now. That, my God, like for example, with this food drive, I open my fridge and I say, oh my God, I'm so lucky. I have so much food in my fridge. Every little moment now. And now, with this Instacart and all, we were not getting, oh my God, now I can get bananas are available. It's just at every level, if you practice gratitude, that's a good way to remain healthy. Good way. And of course, compassion. Do a little bit, whatever you can. Donate your Starbucks coffee to HOH. Do whatever you can. Money, put your, like you said, deliver food. Compassion, gratitude. I live in gratitude. I'm like a gratitude junkie. I am so grateful every minute, every second of my life. I practice gratitude. And then also, we know our numbers are, our journey in this life is limited. We know there's a fight, now I'm approaching that age where I see, okay, after 20 years, I don't know what I will be. So every minute is so precious, so precious. Just practice gratitude, compassion.
Nilima, that is beautiful. Your enthusiasm is infectious, as always, in a good way. And I think we've been really blessed that you could join us today. I think some of our participants would love to have your email, and maybe if you'd like to post the website for HOH.
Okay.
And,
okay, great. Yeah.
If you could do that, and then, if you want to say a few words, and then I'm going to hand it over to Dinesh so he can do the wrap up.
Yeah. So first of all, I'm a hands-on person. My cell phone, 650-520-3204. You can call me anytime, and if you have any question, I will answer it. And our website is www.hohinc.org. That's it. And my number is there in the website, the cell phone number. So just reach me, ask the questions. And again, thank you, Annie. I know this is a wellness platform, so I spoke a lot about energy, and thank you for clarifying to the people about that, how professional our board is, and we have such an amazing structure, and how we function, and we are a 501c non-profit California-based organization with one mission, that is to empower the disadvantaged child to become a self-sustaining citizen of tomorrow. And I explained the whole platform of disadvantage and every kind of child, and we partner with these existing orphanages and schools in India. And so there is no middle person, there's no government, we are directly in contact with the founder of the orphanage, which we call the foot soldier, and her team. So when there are, so that's why I think the results are mind-blowing, mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing, because it's a pure energy, our energy connecting with that. So basically 2 founders, and we have 20 founders, and each one is actually worse than me. So when you have these founders connecting their energies. I think the results are amazing. I look at HOH and I don't know what happened. What happened?
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Nilima, for your inspiring story. I think there are several messages from Prasad Kaipa to Sunita Singh, and I know all our participants feeling that inspiration. And with that, I want to remind you that we have now completed 8 weeks of these program, and we would like some feedback from you. There are calls where we can have more audience participation, and we can alternate. We can bring 1 week, we can bring a speaker, and 1 week we'll only chat among ourselves. So we'll send you a survey, but if you would either email me or write your comments in the chat or call me and give us your feedback. What would you like us to do in the next 2 months? And our goal again is very clear, is to help everyone adopt the wellness habits. And to that, for that end, we have created a WhatsApp group as well. And we plan to create several WhatsApp groups. So people who have a certain kind, they want to adopt certain habits, then that group can support each other. So again, chat, put a message in chat if you would like to join any WhatsApp group. If you have any comment, if you have any feedback, we are preparing our plan for the next 2 months, in the next 8 weeks. And we hope to see you next Saturday right here at the same place. So in the meantime, have a wonderful week. And again, Nilima, Annie, Jesse, Som, Raj, and all the people associated with ICC and CWC and Home of Hope, my heartiest congratulations and best wishes to you. And I encourage people to get involved, whichever activity you want to do. And please donate to CWC if you would choose to, or to ICC or to Home of Hope, whichever your charity of interest. But give your money, give your time, give your energy, give your focus, and universe will give you much, much bigger return in turn. We don't do it for that purpose, but it's a side benefit. You get your strong immunity and that bliss which Nilima described so much. And with that, we'll see you next Saturday. Bye-bye.